Hare Krishna, Srimati Mataji. This is, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. This is Chinmayi Vraja Priya Devidas.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Vraja Priya Devidasi Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your beautiful association. All glories to your services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa Group. Before we start today's our session, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today, May 1st. One second. Okay. Ointment is applied to the eyes for clear vision. When the ointment of love of Godhead will be applied in our eyes, then with these eyes we shall be able to see God. God is not invisible. Simply like a man with cataract or any other eye disease, he cannot see. That does not mean the things are not existing. He cannot see. God is there. But because my eyes are not competent to see God, therefore I deny God. God is there everywhere. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Boston में
This is actually Hare
first
Krishna Mataji.
1969. Yes.
Yeah, this is actually Brahma Samhita verse, right? Premanjana Chodita Bhakti Vilochanena Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Sorry to interrupt you, Mataji.
No, Mataji, very nice. I like it. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa Group. Today we are so fortunate to have her grace, Radhika Kasturi Mataji, on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya Khand, chapter 23, verse number 475 to 513. Thank you very much, Mataji. Dandat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for giving your beautiful association and time this morning and enlightening us on this topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat. And very, very nice chapter is going on. So now we are so eagerly to hear the very beautiful nectar from your mouth, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Yashamati Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Let's start with our prayers. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Tamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschayata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srinuvata Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti sugrit satam Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna, everybody. Let's get started with today's verses. And last class was taken by Her Grace Preeti Vilasini Mataji. And obviously, we had a very, very relishing class talking about Krishna's pastimes with Sudama and how nectarian it was. Definitely, that is something we can never forget, the episode of Sudama and Krishna. And obviously, that was depicted in yesterday's class. And today we will get going with the next set of verses. There are many verses to cover, dear devotees. So what I'm thinking is we will first go over the verses with the translation, and then we will probably, as the time permits, we will see some segment of stories from the pastimes. All right. Let's go into the verses for today. Please, all of you all, if you have Chaitanya, if you have the Caitanya Bhagavat, then go to the 475 verse from 475. Okay. Ananta Brahmande Jatha Achi Stuti Mala Bhakta Hena Stuti Rana Thare Ke Hakala. The prayers found in innumerable universes are inadequate to properly glorify the devotees. And devotees of the Lord, every time, whenever we see a particular act, be it Prahlad Maharaj, be it Dhruva Maharaj, anybody, the prayers found in innumerable universes are inadequate, because that is the glory of the devotees. And again, we are talking about pure devotion, and hence it is very difficult to glorify the glories of devotees. Pure devotion is very rare. It's not that everybody is able to be in that pure devotion, right? We all are trying or aspiring to become a pure devotee. But imagine the pure devotees, what all they do for Krishna, how all they please Krishna. 24/7 they are able to think Krishna. What else? And how are we to glorify this? Just that's why it's mentioned the prayers found in innumerable universes are inadequate to glorify the devotees of the Lord. Next verse, dear devotees. Dasanami Brahma Shiva Harisha Sabhara Tarani Tarendra Chahe Dasa Adhikara. So, Brahma Shiva Harisha Sabhara. Brahma, Shiva and others are pleased to be addressed as what? Dasa. They are pleased to be addressed as servant. Anantasesha, who supports the universe, also desires the qualification to serve the Lord. Everybody wants that adhikar of what? Dasa. Dasa name Brahma Shiva Harisha Sabhara. That's what they want, that adhikar of Das. This is a big, we all love to be addressed as, yes, I'm a CEO of a company. I am this, I am that. But those entitlements are all from material world. Our original our original way, how we should be addressed is dasanu, dasanu, das. But again, with the materialistic propensity, our ego always comes into play. Is servant supposed to be a big designation? Yes, in the spiritual world, the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord is supposed to be the best designation. That is the point, dear devotees. एई सब ईश्वर तुल्य स्वभावेई भक्ता तथापिह भक्त हेई बारे अनुरक्ता. Although they are equal to the Lord and are devotees by nature, they are extremely eager to become devotees. Really, because that's when humility comes into play. If you ask a devotee, are you a pure devotee? If you ask a pure devotee, right, he's a very advanced devotee, what would he say? I'm still trying to become a devotee. That is how they improve every time to please Krishna. Dasanu, 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 das. Okay? हेन भक्त अद्वैतेरे भलिते हरीशे पापी सब दुख पाय निज कर्म धोसे. Because of their past misdeeds, sinful people feel unhappy to graciously accept Advaita as a devotee. Hena bhakta advaitere bhali the harishe papi sab dukha paya nija karma doshi. Because of their karma dosh, because of their past misdeeds, sinful people, they feel unhappy. Papi shabad dukha paya. They feel very unhappy to graciously accept Advaita as a devotee. This is the point. कृष्णेर संतोष भड़ा भक्त है न नामे कृष्ण चंद्र वीन भक्त आरे के बजाने. The Lord Krishna is greatly pleased with one who is accepted as a bhakta. For who, other than Krishna, knows the glories of the devotees? Krishnera santosha bhada bhakta hena name. Krishna, he is greatly pleased if one is accepted as a bhakta. Of course, who else could be more pleased? And who other than Krishna knows the glories of the devotees? He is called a bhakta, then Krishna is very pleased. And who else will know better? Krishna knows everything. He is in our heart. And he knows your right intentions, your wrong intentions, everything. And he knows your glories, by the way. When you become a pure devotee and when you're accepted as a bhakta, what all you do for Krishna is something that he knows. What does your heart think? How does your heart want to please Krishna? How does your heart want to hanker for Krishna all the time? Please Krishna all the time. Do bhajan all the time. Do devotional service all the time. Who would know your glory other than Krishna residing in your heart? Right? Uddhara bharana lagi ebi pabhishabha lavo yaya ishwarami mule jaratva gava. Sinful people, uddhara bharana lagi ebi pabhishabha. Sinful people who claim to be God for the purpose of what? Fulfilling their bellies are actually all idiots. This is all again propensity of lording it over the material world, right? I mean, they, because of their ego, they claim to be the God. Yeah, you know what? I am God. And again, whoever says that, they are all idiots, not at all intelligent. They are fools. That's the point here, devotees. Gardabhas ghala thulya shishya ghana laiya keha bhale ami raghunatha bhavagiya. Some instruct their ass-like or fox-like disciples. Go and meditate on me as Ramachandra. So people, again, when it comes to Guru, there should be a qualification, right? And if there is no qualification, anybody can become Guru. And if there are no rules the Guru follows, or if there are certain ideologies that are not matching the scriptures which the Guru follows, and they have disciples following them, they instruct their disciples, who are also fools, right, to go and meditate on that particular person who they think is their spiritual master as Ramachandra or God. Yeah, just worship me. I'm the Lord. Like that. Kukurera bhakshya deha ihari laiya bhalaya ishware Vishnu maya mukta haya. Although these people have accepted a material body that is fit to be eaten by dogs, they call themselves God under the influence of Lord Vishnu's external energy. Dogs, just reverse it, dogs, but they call themselves God. And again, why are they doing it? That is due to Vishnu's external energy. That is why, dear devotees, whom we take association and how we follow and how we understand Shastras, who do we learn it from, whose mouth are we hearing it from, all that matters. And in which disciplic succession we are, bona fide or not bona fide, everything matters. Because of our lack of due diligence, sometimes due to the modes of nature, we come across people who are gurus but they are not following the spiritual path or what is talked about in the scriptures. And unknowingly, we also enter into the movement, and obviously, that is going to lead to the path of degradation further. But people are there who think themselves to be God and ask the disciples also to follow them and think of them as God. Sarva Prabhu Gaurachandra Sri Chachinandana Deka Tantra Shakti Ei Bariya Nayana. Gaurachandra, the son of Sachi, is the Lord of all. Behold his prowess to the full satisfaction of your eyes. Yes, imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this material world, and whoever was fortunate was able to see the beautiful form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again, according to their moods, they will be able to realize who he is. But that is the vision that gives satisfaction to the eyes. That is the purpose, to see the Lord as the purpose of your eyes, right? इच्छा मात्र कोटि कोटि समृद्ध होइला काट कोटि महादीप ज्वलिते लगीला. Similarly, by his will, millions of people gathered with the millions of large burning torches. केवरोपि लेखा काल प्रति द्वारे द्वारे केव गाया वाय केव पुष्प वृष्टि खोरे. Who placed the bananas at every doorstep? Who sang? Who played the musical instruments? And who showered the flowers? Korilena matra Sridharera chalafan ki hoila na jani premera adishtan. I cannot understand the love that manifests when the Lord drank Sridhara's water. Right? He couldn't, I mean, the thing is, the Lord relishes drinking Sridhara's water. What does that mean? I mean, how much he loves his devotees, how much he loves Sridhara. What would Sridhara have done to get so much love from our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Right? Do something so the Lord turns towards you. That was how Sridhara's attitude. Every time when we hear Sridhara's pastimes, it just melts our heart, isn't it? That is why our beloved Lord, is so happy when he drank Sridhara's water. Bhakta Vatsalya Dehi Tribhuvana Khande Bhumi Telo Thaya Keha Keshanahi Bhande. On seeing the Lord's display of affection for his devotee, the people of the three worlds cried. Some rolled on the ground and some let their hair loose. This is again, if Lord could do this to a devotee, and when a devotee sees this, what happens? Some people are obviously envious, and some people are obviously so happy that they rolled on the ground and they also showed some acts of reciprocation to the Lord for why he did what he did, right? Now, what was Sridhara's reaction? People did, whoever was around, they were able to see this and they just couldn't, contain their happiness and they were rolling on the ground. How about Sridhara? What did he do? Sridhara kante trina dhari yadashane uchakari hari bale sajalanayane. Holding straw between the teeth, Sridhara cried and loudly chanted the name of Hari with the tears in his eyes. What else one would need when Lord reciprocates your love? What else in this world matters, isn't it? Nothing else matters. The highest one could attain is Krishna Prem. When you attain it, there is no boundary to your happiness. Sridhara is crying out of tears of ecstasy. and he's loudly chanting the name of Hari with, again, tears in his eyes. Ki jala korila panatrita seraraya nacha yeshti dhara kande kore hai haya. Nacha Sridhara. Sridhara danced, cried, and lamented. Alas, what kind of water has the Lord drunk? What kind of water has the Lord drunk? What a blessing, dear devotees, right? Bhakta jala pana kori Prabhu Vishwambara Sridhara agane nache Vaikunta Ishvara. After drinking his devotees' water, Vishwambara Prabhu, the Lord of Vaikunta, he danced in Sridhara's courtyard. He was also showing very, he was also so jubilant, and he was exhibiting that in Sridhara's courtyard after drinking devotees' water. Now, what are the intimate associates doing? प्रिय गाने चतुर्दिके गाये महारासे नित्यानंद गदाधर शोभे दुई पासे. His intimate associates, what were they doing? They sang in great ecstasy in four directions, while Nityananda and Gadadhara, they were dancing in the two sides of the Lord. This is what they did. खोला वेच सेवकर देखा भाग्य शीमा ब्रह्मा शिव कांटे यांड्र देखिया महिमा. Just behold the ultimate fortune of the Lord's servant Sridhara, the banana seller. Even Brahma and Shiva, what do? They cried on seeing his glories. Brahma Shiva Khante Andra Dekhiya Mahima. They saw the Sridhara's glories and they started crying. Khola Vecha Sevakara Dekha Bhagya Shima. They saw, oh my God, look at the ultimate fortune of Lord's servant Sridhara. Even they started crying on seeing his glories. Then, again, if you have good wealth, birth, scholarship, can you get hold of Krishna? Is that the qualification? दाने जाने पंडित्य कृष्णेर नहीं पाई केवल भक्ति तीर वास चैतन्य गोसाई. So dane jane panditya. What is it? Wealth, high birth, and panditya, scholarship. They cannot. Krishnera nahi pai. You cannot attain Krishna by these things. What? Dane jane panditya. You cannot attain Krishna by those things. How can you attain Krishna? Kevala bhaktira. Only through bhakti you can attain Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is controlled by Kevala Bhaktira Vasa Chaitanya Gosai. He is controlled by what? He is controlled by bhakti or devotional service. That is the only way to get hold of him. But you can't attain him through wealth, high birth, or scholarship. Okay, dear devotees. Jalapani Sridharera Anugraha Kori Nagare Aila Puna Gauranga Srihari. Jalapani Sridharere Anugraha Kori. After bestowing mercy on Sridhara by drinking Jalapani. Jalapani is drinking the water. Lord Gauranga, what did he do? He again entered the town. Nagare Aila Puna Gauranga Sri Hari. He entered town. Then what did he do? Nache Gaura Chandra Bhakti Rasera Thakura Chaturdike Hari Dwani Shuniya Prachura. Gaura Chandra, he is the master of all devotional mellows. What did he do? He continued to dance. Nachi Gaura Chandra. He continued to dance as a tumultuous vibration of Hari. Chaturdike, on the four directions. Hari Dwani, the vibrations of Hari. Suniya Prachura. He was hearing that and he continued to nachi. This is what he was doing. Sarvaloke jini navadvipera shobhaya hari bhole suni matra sabhara jigvaya. The beauty of Navadvip, Sarvaloke jini navadvipera shobhaya. The beauty of Navadvip surpassed all other places in the creation as Hari bhole suni matra sabhara jigvaya. Because the sound of Hari Bol emanated from the tongues of all the people. That is why this beauty of the place transcended or surpassed all other places in the creation. Okay. Ehi suke vihwala sukha narada shankar se suke vihwala sarva nadiya nagar. Yehi suke vihwala sukha narada shankar. The same ecstasy that overwhelms Sukadev, Narada and Shankara now overwhelmed the residents of Nadia. Se suke vihwala sarva Nadia Nagar. Same ecstasy which is overwhelming the Sukadev, Narada and Shankara now overwhelmed the residents of Nadia. And then next verse, dear devotees, 498. सर्वनवद्वीपेनाचे त्रिभुवनराये घाडिघच परधंग मजिद धियाये. The Lord of the three worlds, what did he pass through? He passed through Ghadigacha, Paradhanga and Majidha. And then while he was dancing in Navadvip, he passed through these three places. Okay. Now, next verse. Ekanishahen jnana na karihe mane katakalpa jelaseyi nishara kirtane. Do not think that kirtan only lasted one night, right? Just the ecstatic mood of Chaitanya. Don't think that it just lasted, that kirtan is just lasted only one night. Don't think like that. Chaitanya Chandrera Kichu Asambhave Nai Bruhu Bange Yahara Hai Brahmanda Pralaya. Chaitanya Chandre Kichu Asambhava Nai. Nothing is impossible for Chaitanya Chandra. Simply by the movement of his eyebrows, the entire universe is annihilated. Bruhu Bange Yahara Haya Brahmanda Pralaya. Just by the movement of his eyebrows, the entire universe, it could be annihilated. महाभाग्यवाने से यही सब तत्व जाने शुष्क तर्क भादी पापी किचुई न माने. So here it is said, महाभाग्यवाने से यही सब तत्व जाने. One who knows the glories of the Lord, he is Mahabhagavan, Mahabhagyavan. He is the most fortunate. What about the other? Sushka tarka vadi papi kichui na mane. The sinful dry speculators, do they accept they are the Mahabhagyavans? Those who know the glories of the Lord, they do not accept this at all. Na mane. Sushka tarka vadi papi kichui na mane. They don't accept these. Who do not accept? The dry Sushka tarka vadi papi people. Those dry speculators, they don't accept. The people who glorify the Lord are the most fortunate. Who knows the glories of the Lord, they are the most fortunate. They don't accept this at all. That's the point. Eina ghare nache Vaikuntera Adiraj Taharao Bhasaye Ananda Sindhu Macha. The residents of each town in which the Lord danced also, what did they do? Einare Nache Vaikuntera Adiraj. They also floated in the ocean of bliss. Ananda Sindhu Mai. They also had that Ananda Sindhu. That's the ocean of bliss. Wherever the Lord danced, those people, they are also floated in the residents of each of those towns, they also were floated in the ocean of bliss. 503. Sei Dhukhara, Sei Garjana, Sei Preme Thara, Hekiya Kandhaya Sti Purusha Nadiyara. The men and women of Nadia, they wept on beholding the Lord's loud roars, cries, and flow of ecstatic love. Say Hunkara, and then Garjana, say Premadara, Lord's roars, Garjan cries, and then the flow of Premdar. meaning the flow of ecstatic love. Seeing that, Dekiya, what did the Sri Purusha of the Nadia do? They also wept. Seeing all of Lord's activities, his loud roars, his cries, and that of ecstatic love flowing from the Lord. Keha boli sachira charane namaskara, kena mahapurusha janmila gharbeyar. Someone said, I offer my obeisances at the feet of Sachi, from whose womb such great personality took birth. Keha boli Jagannatha Mishra Punyavanta, Keha boli Nadiyara Bhagyera Nahiyanta. Another person said, Jagannath Mishra is the most pious. Somebody is saying, oh yeah, he took birth from Sachimata. And somebody is saying, Jagannath Mishra, he's a pious person. And someone else, what are they saying? एई मत लीला प्रभु काटा कल्प कोइला सभे भाले आजी रात्रि प्रभात न कोइला. In this way, Lord performed his pastimes for several kalpas as everyone expressed their desire that the night would never end. Who wants that night to end? Everybody wanted that night to be forever and ever and ever. They were seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love in the form of cries, in the form of loud roars, in the form of, shouting of Lord's names. And who wants to take their eyes off of Lord? And who wants to not hear, or they want to keep hearing Lord's, whatever the acts he was doing? Nobody wanted the scene to be ended by any means. That was what was happening in that place. Wherever the Lord was, and every resident and town, they were enjoying Lord's such act of obviously, being ecstatic after drinking Shridra's water. How much happy each one felt is something that cannot be comprehended. एई मत बलि शबेदेय जयकार सर्वलोक हरि विने nahi bole आर. In this way, everyone expressed their jubilation by vibrating nothing other than names of Hari. the whole vibration, it's all about chanting the holies of the holy names of the Lord. Everybody were in such great jubilation. प्रभु देखी सर्वलोके दंडवत हाया पादाये पुरुष स्त्रिय बालकलया. Men, women, children all fell down to offer obeisances when they saw the Lord. Prabhu dekhi sarvaloka dandavata haya. After seeing Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sarvaloka dandavat. Everybody started doing dandavat. Hadaye purusha striya balakalaya. Who all did? Purusha, stri, balak. That is men, women, and children. All of them they fell and did offer obeisances unto the Lord. Shubha drishti kaura chandra khori sabakhare Swanubhava nande prabhu kirtaniya vihare. Shubha drishti kaura chandra khori sabakhare. After glancing mercifully on everyone, the Lord continued to enjoy. Oh, merciful glance. When will Lord glance on us? That is, for that, how much you have to, this one life that is given to us, we have to devote to Him. But in this one life, we have so much going on. How can we devote our life to Him, this one life? How are we supposed to give? That's the question I always have. I know I have to devote this life to Krishna and Krishna and Krishna. When will that hankering come where we aspire to do devotion all the time without any karma jnana, karma or jnana hindering us? That should be the day, dear devotees, that we all should hanker for. Ei sabalilara kabhu nahi paricheda avirbhava tribhava ei kahe veda. Although the Veda describe the Lord's appearance and disappearance, there is no end to his pastimes. There is no end. Krishna is always performing his pastimes in one universe or the other. There's no end to his pastimes. Something is happening all the time. एकेन एक रूप भक्त गोने खरी धयन सेई रूपे सेई केने prabhu vidyaman. Whenever the devotee meditates on the particular form of the Lord appears in that form before a devotee. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the translation says 3.9.11 Yadyad diyata urugaya vibhavayanti tattat vapu pranayashe sadhanugraghaya. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in a particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Right? Always they think of that particular form of the Lord. And what does Lord do? He's merciful that he manifests that form for that devotee. Adyapiha chaitanye sabhalila khore jandra bhage thahe sei dekhaye niranthare. Lord Chaitanya, he performs these pastimes even today. And one who is fortunate, he can constantly see them. Now, dear devotees, that's again relevant to today's Prabhupada's quote also, right? That vision, that prema vision, that is what will enable you to see the pastimes of the Lord. And obviously, now our commentary here says one cannot get a clear idea of the object of vision simply by seeing a middle portion of it. Living entities don't see the portion of the supreme consciousness that are covered by their propensity to enjoy. And as a result, Chaitanya Deva's eternal pastimes remain covered from the eyes of ordinary people. Those who are free from the coverings of karma and jnana, as such, do not chase desires for either enjoying the fruits of their karma or for their will of renouncing the fruits of their karma, can certainly always see the pastimes of Chaitanya. The human being's propensities for enjoyment and renunciation make them materially conditioned. When they become free from clutches of such conditioning, they achieve the power to surpass the platforms of enjoyment and renunciation. Conditioning, avidya, right? That's the point which is covering us from seeing who we are. We are the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, but instead we have our material designations, which brings us happiness and obviously happiness and dukkha. And we are thinking, yes, I identify with that and I become that. Now we have to surpass this. Otherwise, according to mortal and temporary considerations, they develop the sinful thirst for equating the pastimes of Chaitanya with karma and jnana covered pastimes of human beings. Pastimes of the Lord can't be compared to the pastimes of the human beings. But with our material mind, we may think so. And that's not a good idea at all. And dear devotees, every day, everyone is sincerely attending Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, all these classes. And again, over and over, the subject is love. And Krishna, he can love me, he can love you, he can love everybody. Unlike this material world, say for example, there are parents. Parents, they have kids and they can have partiality towards a kid. You know, elder son, younger son, depending on how they behave, they may have partiality. Or they could love equally all their children. When there is a point where they have more than 100 kids, do you think they can equally give their attention to everybody? It's impossible. But with Krishna, anything is possible. Even if it is millions, billions, trillions of devotees that seek him, he can have a one-on-one attention to them, given to them. That is the glory of Krishna. I think when I understood this point, as I entered into Krishna consciousness, it changed my perspective towards things, isn't it? So you don't have to be envious of any devotee. You're all children of Krishna. He will look at them with a different set of eyes. He'll also look at you with a different set of eyes. If somebody grows in devotional service, obviously Krishna will reciprocate with them. But if you also grow in devotional service, it's not that I don't have space in my heart, I can't accommodate you. No, He's having a big heart, so he can accommodate everybody. This was a game changer for me, dear devotees. When I understood this concept, obviously it made a big difference to the perception of how Krishna's love is. It can accommodate everybody, anybody. With each one, he has a unique relationship, unique sort of reciprocation. That is something that is very important for us to understand. So we don't develop that jealousy. There is no enmity. If somebody is progressing in devotional service, we have to be happy about that fact. And we have to stay under their association so we can also progress. This is the point. Okay. Now, I was just thinking with regards to this verse, there is so many things to talk about. But, from my perspective, I was going to bring the pastimes of Sri Ramanujacharya. We all know about him. He's a very powerful Vaishnava, and he was spreading love of God, again, all over India. He also had many disciples, and one of his disciples was a Grihastha. He also grew up with Ramanujacharya. Now, whenever pastimes of Ramanuja come, my favorite is Preeti Vilasni Mataji, Her Grace Preeti Vilasni Mataji. She just exuberates and enunciates this pastime with such love. So, obviously, you'd have heard from her many times. I'm just going to talk about a few of the pastimes to understand the glory of devotees. Now, one of these disciples, as we talk about, his name was Kuresh. He married a lady who was also equally devotional as her, and her name was Andal. By the grace of the Lord, they got so much wealth, tremendous amount of wealth. They had lot of opulence, big house, lot of money. But they were so much in the mood of service. From sunrise till midnight, they had their gate, the house gate would be open. And they gave charity to anybody who wanted. Just anybody off the street could come into their house. And what would they do? They would just give charity to them. And of course, they would preach also. They were such generous in their hearts that they always wanted to serve. God has given me this. It's not mine. It is His property. And I'm grateful for that. What they say is that let me just reciprocate this by serving or using it to others. Now, one time a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, "You've given so much, Srila Prabhupada. How could we repay you?" And Prabhupada said, "Whenever I have given you, share it with others." He didn't want anything for himself. That's actually gratitude. If we are grateful, we want to reciprocate with the person whom we are grateful to. So, because they were all grateful to God that He has given them so much, they were sharing it with God's children. Now, we're going to enter into a little bit of a story. Again, when you look at Ramanuja's pastime, there was also this great devotee called Kanchipurna. He used to go to the temple of Ranganath in Sri Rangam. And he had what is called a relationship with a deity, where he would talk to the deity and the deity would then talk back to him. He was such a simple man. He was a very well educated, simple person. But he loved to sing the glories of the Lord. The Lord liked his singing because it was filled with devotion. He would just talk to him. So one day, Lakshmi Devi said to Kanchipurna, "What is that noise I just heard, Kanchipurna?" And Kanchipurna was like, "It's middle of the night. The gate is closed at Kuresh's house. He gives charity from sunrise to midnight. But the husband and wife do need some sleep. So the gate closed." That's probably the sound. And they live far away. It wasn't that you can actually physically hear, but Lakshmi could hear that sound. Her ears are everywhere, right? And Kanchipurna understood her heart. And Lakshmi Devi said, "Tell Kuresh and Andal I want to see them." So Kanchipurna, he went there and he said, "Lakshmi Devi wants you to come to the temple. She wants to see you." Now, Kuresh said, Lakshmi ji wants to see me. Why? I am the most ungrateful person. I am very sinful. I am very contaminated by my false ego and attachments. What is this? Why does she want to see me? I have no qualification, but since it's an order, I must go. Now, um, he took off all his nice clothes and he put on the clothes of a mendicant because when he goes before the Lord and his concert, he doesn't want to be like a rich man. This is genuine feeling, dear devotees. It's genuine feeling because of which he removed his rich man's clothes. He wants to go before the Lord as if he's a beggar with nothing. I'm just depending on your mercy, Lord. This was the mood of Quraysh. And his wife, she also took off all her nice clothes and put on the clothes of a mendicant. And they left behind everything and went to the forest. Andal, if you look at her, she just got one possession. She just had a golden cup to feed her husband's water. Some water whenever he wanted, she thought she could use that golden cup to feed him. They had to walk through the forest and it was night and Andal became little afraid. She said, the forest at night is a beautiful place. And Quraysh said, if you don't have anything, then you don't have fear of losing. But if you have something, then you be afraid. This is what he told Andal. And he also said fear is due to attachment. Where there is no attachment, there is no fear. Now, you cannot put fear into a person if he's detached. So she realized, oh my God, you know what? I have a golden cup. And that's what is getting me a little bit of anxiety or fear at this point in time. And so what did she do? She threw the golden cup deep into the jungles. Then after that, she was fearless with no attachments. Now they came to Sri Rangam. And Sri Rangam happened to be a place where his guru Ramanujacharya was living. So Ramanujacharya arranged accommodations for them and they were so happy to be with their guru. Obviously, so happy to a point where they left the opulent home and realized that the real wealth is to be with your guru and serve him. So they lived a very, very simple life in a little hut and they had to go out every day to beg for food. Okay, this was what was the situation. And now, if we look at Ramanujacharya, he had several gurus. Yamunacharya never initiated him, he just inspired his heart. Yamunacharya, at the time of leaving his body, he indicated three fingers. With three fingers, he had three desires that he wanted Ramanujacharya to fulfill. Again, Ramanujacharya had several gurus. Yamunacharya was not the one who actually initiated him, but he inspired him through his art. Okay. Now, what are the three things that he wanted Ramanujacharya to fulfill? One was to write a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Second was to spread unmotivated love of Godhead all over India. Now, third one was to honor the father of Vyasadeva, the author of Vishnu Puran. He should name someone Parashar. Okay. So he was saying his disciples, I want to write Vedanta Sutra commentaries. Ramanujacharya, he was just telling, I want to write. I want to do it properly. So for that, I need to read the commentary of Bodhayan. So there was one copy of that. It was there in somewhere in Kashmir. Obviously, it's a place of conflict. We all know even now it's a place of conflict. To go and get a copy from Kashmir was not that easy. He was living in Sri Rangam, which is in South India, and he had to walk thousands of miles. He went with Quraysh all the way to Kashmir. And then there is this ashram called Shraddha Peel. And there he asked the people, okay, can I have a copy of Bodhayan, please? Now these people are impersonalists. They were all impersonalists and they were thinking, if he gets this and if he is very intelligent, then he is going to write a commentary that is going to refute ours. So there will be, then we will never be able to defend ourselves. So they told Ramanujacharya, actually, you know what? We had a copy of this, but over time it got eaten away by the worms. So now, if you ask us where it is, it is not there. It is no longer with us. So obviously, after hearing this, he felt so bad. On one night, when he was resting, goddess Durga, he appeared to him. It was her temple. She came to him and handed him the book and said, "You better go to your native place immediately. Because if they are going to find you out, these impersonalists, if they're going to find you out, they'll be after you." So he and Kuresh respectively asked, they just left the ashram. A few days later, these people were cleaning, the impersonalists were cleaning their library, and they found, oh my God, the book is gone. Haribol, what is this? This was a very difficult situation for them. They decided, okay, the true Vaishnavas who came here to the ashram, they must be the one who would have taken this. Find them. So the whole group of people, they were searching, searching and searching. It took 1 month until they finally found Ramanujacharya and Kuresh in some forests while they were going on their way to Sri Lanka. They said, "You have that book, right? Give it back to us." And they took the book, of course. Ramanuja was so sad how he could write a commentary without reference of having this book. Now, in this situation, Kuresh was very happy. Ramanujacharya couldn't understand, what is this? These people are going to grab the books, and Kuresh, what is this? He's happy. He said, Kuresh said, because every night when you were sleeping, Gurudev, I was reading the book. I read the whole book. I read it completely. And I have it all 100% completely memorized. Let us just stay here for some time. I'll write down whatever was in it. And Kuresh, he just wrote everything that was there on the book. Now, Kuresh and Ramanujacharya both were happy. He said, obviously, Gurudev said, Ramanujacharya said to Kuresh, "I'm eternally indebted to you, Kuresh. I owe my very life because you have actually given me the means by which I can serve my Guru according to his instruction." He had deep love for his Guru, and he was so happy about the fact that he was going to fulfill the mission of his Guru, desire of his Guru. Now, parallel story. In Kanchipuram, which was the capital of that area, there was a king called the king of the Chola dynasty, and his name was Kulotunga. The Cholas of the generations were devotees of Vishnu. But somehow or the other, Kulotunga was a madman, a fanatic. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva, and he considered Shiva as the truth and the light, and there is no way to mukti other than uh, going to Shiva. Except through Shiva, there is no way of mukti. So he was really a fanatic. And there was, when it comes to the kingdom, he wanted everybody in the kingdom to be converted to Shaivites or Shivites. He hated anybody who liked Vishnu or Krishna. Now he had a minister, and the minister's name was Chaturgram, right? He was a disciple of Kuresh and Ramanujacharya, and he rejected his guru, and he went to Kulotunga because Kulotunga was going to get petition signed that everyone must accept Shiva as the supreme. Now, Chaturgram told Kulotunga that Ramanujacharya, he's a very powerful person. I know him. You know what, Kulotunga, if you do not defeat this Ramanujacharya, then he will convert the whole world into Vaishnavas, whole country into Vaishnavas. But you know what? If you're going to defeat him, then everybody will fall in line and they are going to start worshipping Shiva. So, this is the only way you could establish your religion. So this is what you need to do. Either you defeat Ramanujacharya or you murder him. Now, so Kulotunga took this to the heart. He sent a challenge to Ramanujacharya, one of the Ramanujacharya's prominent guru. Who was he? Mahapurna. He was a old man. He wanted Ramanujacharya and Mahapurna to come to his kingdom. So in Srirangam, in the ashram, Ramanujacharya was preparing to go to meet this king. But Quraysh, he understood, okay, this king, he may have a devious intention. So now, in order to protect Ramanujacharya, the gods had already come with weapons to bring Ramanujacharya or take him to the palace. At that time, Quraysh fell at the feet of Gurudev and he said, I beg you, give me one benediction. And Gurudev, Ramanujacharya was like, what? Gurudev, they are all going to kill you. They're going to torture you. They're going to kill you. There is no doubt in this. That is their plan. I'm able to see it. You're my guru and you're my life and soul. If you're gone, I don't have a life. Besides nourishing your heart and giving love of God, you're doing this for so many people. You're nourishing everybody's heart by giving Krishna Prema to everybody all over the people in the country. And I am just an insignificant soul. If I die, there is no loss to this world. But if you die, there is a greatest tragedy. The guards are there, they are waiting for you. Please give me your sannyasi robes and I will give you my grihastha robes. You escape and I will go as king in your name. Ramanujacharya said, how can I do that? That is not possible. But Quraysh was weeping. He was begging. Please, Gurudev, give me the service. Because of the sincerity, Ramanujacharya traded these clothes with him. Then he put on the white robes of Quraysh, and Quraysh wore the sannyasi robes. And God, obviously, the guards did not suspect. They walked out alone, and other devotees. They walked out, and Quraysh, and Mahapurna, he was like, he was an old man, as I said, Ramanuja's guru. He said, Quraysh, I'm going with you. I want to do the service to my disciple Ramanuja. So Quraysh and Mahapurna, they came outside and then they went with the guards. And then in the kingdom, Quraysh was like, I am Ramanuja. And king obviously is waiting for Ramanujacharya. They went from Srirangam to Kanjipuram, a couple of 100 kilometers, we would say. Now, so when he came into the king's court, the king honored him with great respect, at least externally, gave him accommodation, gave him a nice sitting place. And he said, tomorrow I want you to come to the court of Pandits and we are going to have a philosophical, spiritual discussion. So there were Pandits, scholars assembled together and they came and asked Ramanuja, I want to know what is the ultimate goal of life. And obviously, our Quraysh, who's as Ramanujacharya, he responded, Lord Vishnu is the supreme Lord of Lords. To serve him with a heart full of pure devotion is the ultimate goal of life. When the king heard this, he just obviously flew into rage and he started screaming. He said, You're a fool. You're an offender. Shiva is the supreme. Either you accept this or you're going to die. He said, I'll give you a chance. You listen to my pundits, listen to my scholars, and they will convince you. So everything the scholars said, both Quraysh and Mahapurna, they completely defeated them. By this time, king was like, my God, either I'm going to torture you to death or sign a statement saying Shiva is the supreme. Obviously, this came to a point where king was not happy with the way things were proceeding. And then, the guards obviously dragged him and brought him to the secluded forest. And then they blinded the eyes of Quraysh. Finally, dear devotees. It was such a sad incident, right? But Quraysh, what was his feeling? What is the mood of a devotee? This mood, it has to come naturally, right? The love for Guru. Pain was excruciating. The blood was flowing and it was just everywhere, all over. And Quraysh was thanking God. He was in ecstasy. He was thanking, my God, I don't deserve this. You're allowing me to do such an incredible service for my spiritual master. You're allowing me to take on the pain in service of my Guru. What a benediction, what a gift. Thank you, my Lord, thank you. The executioners, whoever did this to him, they were meant to just leave him and they were about to go. And Quraysh was blind with both eyes, brutally. They were taken out. And he said, my dear friends, I'm eternally grateful to you guys. Thank you. Because you allowed me to perform this wonderful service to my Guru and Krishna. When they heard this, they were like, their hearts melted. They realized this person is he's a saint. They gave him some money and said, go back to Sri Rangam. And Mahapurna was old. He told, after the executioners left, he told Quraysh, it's time for me to leave Quraysh. He said, I'm feeling so grateful to Lord Vishnu. He has allowed me to end my life performing this selfless, unconditional service to my disciple Ramanuja. He is giving me a chance to die for my disciple. This is the love. Why will Lord not be ecstatic in seeing such devotees, isn't it? Drinking Sridhara's water and compared to this, imagine dear devotees, they do so much for the pleasure of Krishna. They do so much for the service of the Lord. They do this to please their Guru. Ultimately, pleasing the Guru is pleasing Krishna, right? What a benediction. Mahapurna is saying, what a benediction. I thank Narayana for his causeless mercy. When you go back to Sri Rangam, please tell Ramanuja, my disciple, that I send my obeisances onto him and tell him how happy I am to serve him in this way. Now, with my mind on my Guru, Yamunacharya, I will give up my life. And chanting the names of Narayana, Mahapurna gave up his body. And Quraysh was brought back to Sri Rangam. And obviously, Ramanujacharya was hiding in exile. He went to a hill station called Melkote. It's also a holy place. And Ramanujacharya spent years traveling and preaching in exile. Now, not long after Quraysh was blinded, King Kulottama, what happened to him? He got a horrible disease and died in a miserable death. And his son, whose name was Vikram, became a disciple of Ramanujacharya. Now, there's another story that goes by wherein years went by when Quraysh was living with his wife Andal and he was in a blind state. When he heard Ramanujacharya, where he was, if he was traveling around, he heard he was not far. He had his wife bring him to Ramanujacharya. When Ramanujacharya saw his disciple Quraysh, who was willing to die, who was blinded in the service of Guru, obviously Ramanujacharya's heart melted. He embraced him and he showered his love upon Quraysh and said, thank you. And Quraysh said, thank you for allowing me to do the service. Anyone could have done it, but you chose me, the least qualified to perform this service. Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you. Now, Ramanujacharya said to Quraysh, you go to Kanchipuram. There is temple of Bharatraj. That deity bestows benediction. I want you to go before the deity and beg for benediction. Beg him to give your eyes back. So Quraysh, on the order of his guru, went to Kanchipuram. From early morning till night, he was chanting the glories of the holy names and singing the prayers and chanting the holy names with such love and devotion, obviously. And ultimately, what happened? The deity started to speak to him. The deity said, Quraysh, I am pleased with you. Please ask for a benediction. Anything material, spiritual, whatever you ask, I will give you. Now, what would you ask for it if Lord gave you that opportunity? Quraysh, according to him, he just had one desire. So, again, he's just saying, God, Lord is saying now, Quraysh, he just has desire. What desire he has? Please fulfill that. This Chaturgram, he was my disciple, who's my student and a disciple of myself and Ramanujacharya. It was he that impelled the king to torture us and kill us. My prayer is to please forgive him, bestow mercy upon him, and give him liberation in Vaikuntha. Lord was like, is that all you ask for? Yes, that's what I want. That's all I want in my life. And he said, so be it. He'd be liberated to Vaikuntha. Now, when Ramanujacharya saw, when he was still blind, what did you ask for? Now, you don't lie to your guru, right? He told him he told him whatever he asked from the Lord Varadaraj. He told him that he wanted this benediction for Chatugram. He wanted him to be liberated and go to Vaikuntha. Ramanujacharya's heart, obviously, on hearing him, his heart melted. Now, he said, go back to the deity and ask for your eyes back. He went to the deity, and from early morning till night, obviously, he was singing. Again, what did he ask? Did he get his eyes back? Kuresh didn't ask for that. When the Lord came before him, he said, any benediction, Varadaraj was ready to give him that benediction. Lord said, yes, ask for it. I'll give you whatever you want. And then he said, King Kulotunga was angry and he wanted to kill me and blaspheme me. And he was such a sinful person. Now, Lord, I want him to I want him to be forgiven. Please bestow mercy for him and give him liberation to Vaikuntha too. And Lord is like, is that all you want? It'll be done. And then again, after a few days, he met Ramanujacharya. He was still blind. What did you ask for? And Ramanujacharya said this amazing thing. Every time the deity come, he wanted somebody to be elevated to Vaikuntha. Kurish, obviously, that was what the devotee's heart was. He feels everybody. He doesn't care for himself. He is in ecstasy all the time. He lies. Losing eyes was not a problem for him. Materially conditioned person, for him, yes, I lost my eyes. He'll cry, brood over it. But for him, he was in the remembrance of Krishna all the time. He never had bad intentions for anybody, even those who harmed him. His happiness was to see other people in happiness. He just didn't care about himself. Completely ecstatic all the time. So now, Ramanujacharya, he was like, you know, you surrender your life to me, he told him. Your body is my property. It's not your property, it's my property. Uh, so, that's Ramanujacharya. He was so worried about his disciple. He wanted Kuresh to get his eyes back. Again, the story goes on with so much awe and reverence, dear devotees. It is something that we need to relish. Kuresh and Ramanujacharya are two strong characters. There's so much to learn from them. And Ramanujacharya told Kuresh again, go to the deity of Bharadraj and tell him I want my property back. So Kuresh went to Kanchipuram. Again, he sang Harinam all day long, and the deity said to him, Kuresh, what is your benediction? Kuresh, with an humble heart, he said, I lost two valuable possessions of my Gurudev. He entrusted them to me, and I lost them. Please give them back to my Gurudev. The deity said to Kuresh, benediction will be fulfilled. And when he heard that, Kuresh felt unconscious. And when he woke up, he got his eyes back with full vision, with a perfect vision. Ramanujacharya, if you note it carefully, he understood that if we ask Kuresh to ask something for himself, he would have never asked. Because Gurudev said it is his property. He wanted Gurudev's property to be restored. Ramanujacharya therefore tricked him and said, you ask for me. And when he came back and when he saw Kuresh, he was so, so happy. This is the point, dear devotees. That is why Lord is so happy to drink the remnants of devotees. He feels such ecstatic love and he spreads the love to all over, to everybody else nearby. So, with this, dear devotees, we will end our class for today. I know I went over 10 minutes. If I see the time, yes, I went over 10 minutes, but hope you all had a good time. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गौर भक्त वृंद की जय all glories to the simple devotees, all glories to all of you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru Maharaj, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Such a wonderful pastime you narrated in the parallel story of Shri Kulavitya Sridhar, how the Ramanujacharya and Kurish, their relationship, Guru and disciple. Wow, I never heard this before. And today you narrated very sweetly and very in detail. So I really love that story, how the disciple should be and how the devotee should be and how the Guru should be, how the love, Krishna loves his devotee. You explain everything in everything, the two parallel story, Mataji. I have no words to say anything more because here how much love Lord to Sridhar, Kulavecha Sridhar, how much love Sridhar, Sri Kulavecha Sridhar to Lord. My God, no limit. And how here the Ramanujacharya loves his disciple Kuresh, and Kuresh loves his Guru, and how he is always humble, and when Krishna wants to give him benediction, and what he asks for that, and how Guru treats. Very nice, Mataji. You say everything very nice, Mataji. So sweet pastimes, and how the Lord makes his devotees glory, and how he get ecstatic symptoms like that, and how he drank the water from the Sridhar's part. Very nice, Mataji. Such a beautiful story. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank
All
you.
glories to Srila Prabhupada, all
All
glories to
glories to
your
Srila Prabhupada
to
Guru Maharaj Mataji.
and I really like that thing, and I just thinking about the Jaipataka Swami. Always he has a mission of his Guru Srila Prabhupada, that whatever Srila Prabhupada was wanted to do, and he is, even though in his this kind of health, he just fulfill his Guru's desire, motive. Very nice, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. You're
Hare
so sweet.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Shashla
Hare.
Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji, for the very, very nice class.
Oh, Mataji.
Of course, the story of Sripad Ramanujacharya and Koresh is always so relishable.
Oh, you are the best, Mataji, when it comes to reciting these pastimes. I think we've heard from you so many times.
Oh, Mataji. But I really liked one point you made is about how much space the Lord has in his heart that he can reciprocate with each and every living entity while we are so limited. And Krishna is so merciful. He loves each one of us with the same love and he reciprocates with us. That was very heart touching, Mataji. Thank you for that realization. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. That was one of the best I got it to, Mataji. It was a game changer for me when I realized this. Okay, I don't have to. Krishna has a big heart, so everybody can be accommodated. It's okay if anybody else goes ahead of you. It's fine, uh, right? I mean, just to
Really.
understand that concept, definitely it took a different angle of vision when I heard that, Mataji. So thank you, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you have time. So,
Hare
devotee.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for the beautiful class, Mataji. Very grateful to you.
Thank you, Vinita Mataji, for always supporting and always hearing all the classes of all devotees. Very good.
Mataji, Shivani Mataji said that Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Excellent class. Thank you for a beautiful association. Looking
Thank you,
forward
Shivani.
to more classes from you. Hare Krishna Mataji. So Mataji, if your permission, shall we end the call?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for this sweet and nectarian class. And we are very grateful to you. We look forward to your association in future. And vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Caitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Her Grace Radhika Kasturi
All
Devi Dasi
glories to us,
Mataji
all
ki
devotees.
jai.
All glories to
Hare
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.